Welcome back everybody to more CSI. When we last checked off, we were going to question Good Doctor here, so let's get started.
My second car is a pickup, L160 model, about a month old.
Well, that's bad for you.
You know, I'm not sure how to answer that. There are two spare sets, and my wife keeps one for emergencies. But the other one, about a week ago, I noticed it was missing from my keychain. Maybe it fell off. It must be in the house somewhere.
You suspect.
In my garage at home, of course. Like I said, it's a second car. I did take some firewood out to my ranch recently. It's the first time I actually hauled anything in it. I knew her, yes, in that she was a patient. You do understand, of course, that medical information is privileged. Do you have a court-issued subpoena? Otherwise, I'm not free to discuss my patient's medical history.
Well, your patient is dead.
My wife and I were together, grocery shopping. It's a little ritual. Every week, something we do as a couple.
I suppose she can back that up?
Ask her. She should be at home right now. Be my guest. Maximine. I'm a GP, not an oncologist. What use would I have for Maximine?
So he denies the use of Maximine. That's okay. But we're not done. We're going to go to Wilkinson's residence, because I want to see that car.
Warwick Brown, Mrs. Wilkinson, Las Vegas Crime Lab. Your husband suggested we speak to you.
What would you like to know? It's in the garage. Go ahead and look. You don't need a warrant. No one here's done anything. If you mean, has Edward ever violated doctor-patient confidentiality? Absolutely not. We're close, Edward and I, but his professional ethics, well, they're impeccable. Oh yes, and there were plenty of witnesses at the grocery store where we were shopping. Is my husband in some sort of trouble?
Do you have reason to think he might be?
Of course not. Edward is as wonderful a husband as he is a physician. And you must know what an outstanding reputation he has in this community. I have nothing to say where that little tramp is concerned.
That little tramp, Mrs. Wilkinson, has been murdered. That's why we're here.
I don't wish that on anyone, murder. But some people bring bad things on themselves. Look, you're gonna find out anyway, so I'll tell you. She tried to come between Edward and me. She was a spoiled brat who thought she could have any man she wanted.
Well, there's motive. If I ever heard one, that is a motive. Let's go to the garage, which is right over here.
As advertised, it's an L160 4.6 liter V8 engine, standard transmission. Nice wheels for a second car, huh? Only a couple hundred clicks on the odometer.
Right, I think our first bet should be taking a print of the car.
All seasons.
Yep, we're going to want a print of this.
We can't use...
No, is it a mold?
We can't use... We can't use the...
Where the hell do I... Really? Is that? Are you serious? Is that what? Okay, I genuinely do not understand that, the collection sometimes. Right, okay, well we have a print, that's good. Let's look at this. Oh yeah, this is definitely our truck.
Chips. Well, that backs up Wilkinson saying he hauled firewood in the truck.
Right, let's collect these evidence. We've got a note.
Seat for firewood. Remember the good old days when you chopped your own? No date on it, but the order was phoned in. If need be, we can ask Brass to pull phone records for us and find exactly when the good doc called in the order.
Immediate pickup, you say? That's interesting. Why immediate? What is this?
We can't use that.
Must be a swab.
Thick and sticky. Greg will tell us what it is.
Sap. It's gonna be sap, I'm telling you. I think that's all we can do here. Well, let's go back to the Wilkinson's residence.
I'm afraid I can't.
Let's go back to the doctor's office. Just check. Nope. Pharmacy. No. Okay, so back to the lab then in that case. Actually, let's go to the brass first and get the phone records.
Without evidence that the doctor's truck was used in the murder, we can't...
Oh, well, that's easy enough to do.
We have access to Wilkinson's patient database, so just give me a second. That would be a yes. He's been her personal physician for over a year. No surgeries or procedures on file, though.
Interesting. Right, to the lab, we need to prove that the truck was the truck that was used to abduct her, which should be easy enough to do. Right, we do have a couple of things. We've got the truck tire print. And we have the sticky substance.
This is your everyday, run-of-the-mill red oak sap. Now, the sap you brought from the truck matches the sap on the Vic's clothes. Very likely she was in the back of the pickup.
There we go. Now, is there anything else?
Little bits of oak, dried apparently. Firewood.
Right.
It's a perfect match to the tracks from the garden. The doc, or the doc's truck, that is, has spent some time here recently.
Right.
Husband and wife with access to this truck, and tread marks connected to the gardens. In the truck bed was sap that matched what was on the victim's pants. So somehow our killers got the tainted tissues into the hands of our victim. They follow Sophia in the gardens and wait. Before they know it, their prey passes out. They toss her in the back of the truck and drive her lifeless body to the casino loading bay. There, they slide her body off the bed and into a barrel. Of course, this whole theory fizzles if Wilkinson picked up the firewood after Sophia's murder. We should prove that wasn't the case.
Well, let's just do a little comparison here as well. Yep, just to make sure that it's the same truck. Let's go to the law guy, and get him to do his law thing.
Pressure from the mayor's office on this one, as you might well expect. So, we put some extra resources on it. A worker at the Desert Gardens claims to have found something important. And Grissom is checking that out. He'll brief us when he gets back. Meantime, keep at it. Let me pull his cell phone records and see. He called for that order 3 days ago. But wait, just 1 minute. He was placing several calls a day to that pharmacy for a while there. That pharmacist and Wilkinson may not be telling all just yet.
Okay, interesting. Before we try and ask for interrogations, let's just go and see if they've got anything to say. We'll go to the garden, see if we can see Grissom, because he was supposed to be here. No Grissom. Okay, let's go to the pharmacy. Got something to say? No? Okay. Well, the doctor's office.
Oh, gee, that's a tough one. I'm a doctor and she's a pharmacist. How could that ever happen?
Well, we're not going to get anything there. What the wife? No. Okay, so it's going to have to be interrogations, I see.
What?
Well, let's start with Lita Callisto.
The doctor had been a stranger, and yet he made all those calls. Let's give her a chance to explain herself, shall we? Ms. Callisto, we would like to ask you a few more questions.
Yeah. We'd like you to fill in a few of the blanks you left last time we talked.
He scribbled, I read his lousy writing, filled his prescription, he picked it up. I saw it parked outside the hospital last week.
Nothing unusual about it?
It's a pickup truck. It wasn't the Rose Bowl float. Well, there was some scuffing in the back, dented even. Maybe he'd been hauling firewood or something.
Interesting you should bring that up.
And I'm sure you'll tell me why.
Dr. Wilkinson ordered that load of firewood 2 days ago.
This is so fascinating. I'm starting to wish I took notes.
You see, Lita, only somebody who'd seen that truck very recently would know about those scuffs and dents. Maybe somebody who used the truck to haul something heavy. A body in a barrel, say?
You're crazy. Do I look like a killer to you?
You're starting to.
That line was really good. You're starting to. Yeah, that's a good line.
No, but I was before last week when he got paranoid about his wife finding out. Typical of the breed, you know. Promise me the moon, then weasels back to wifey. Now I don't exist to him. Who cares?
Last week, you say? That's about the time the doc's spare truck key did a David Copperfield and vanished.
I'm sure that would be fascinating to someone who gave a damn.
Oh, you better start giving a damn because this is looking quite bad for you, miss. Let's go back to Brass. It's annoying we have to go back to Brass, like when Brass is right there. Let's get the wife in.
He had access to this truck. She didn't love the victim and didn't seem terribly surprised about the murder. A judge will okay bringing her in. Mrs. Wilkinson, you were not the biggest fan of our murder victim.
And the details of the crime indicate you may have been involved in the murder.
What an outrageous, ludicrous spectacle you people are making of yourselves. Oh, let me see. I believe it was... Oh, yes, that's right. Never.
You've never driven it. Your husband says you have a spare set of keys.
I do, but I couldn't drive it if my life depended on it. It's a stick shift, and I'm strictly an automatic female. Why, certainly. Anything I can do to help the forces of justice in their efforts to disrupt our lives, trample our good reputation, and violate our privacy.
Well, at least she gave us it. Lyra Callisto, this is the big one.
No, can't say I have. And she wouldn't be another one of Edward's little chippies, would she? If so, she's free to get herself murdered too, as far as I'm concerned.
Well, nothing to... I wish I could just be like, yo, Brass, next one, but I have to go to his office.
Yeah? What do you...
Well, get the good doctor in.
He was playing doctor with Sophia, and his truck was at the gardens. Let's do it. Dr. Wilkinson, we're looking at the evidence and seeing a big arrow pointing in your direction.
Make it easier on everyone, and yourself included, and just level with us. What do you say, Doc?
You know about that, do you? Okay, so I have a roving eye, and maybe the rest roves along too sometimes. That doesn't mean I killed anybody. But, look, keep this from my wife, would you?
Bit late. I've already told her. Pretty much. DNA sample, please.
Of course. Haven't I been straight with you here? I'm trying to cooperate. Ask anybody. I take my civic responsibilities very seriously.
There we go. Oh, no, I wanted to ask about Sophia.
She was a beautiful young woman, and she flattered me. Ever hear of a midlife crisis? She was mine. My wife found out, and I realized how foolish I'd been, and broke it off with the girl. I didn't tell you because of how it looked.
And how does it look now?
I know I didn't kill the girl. She just didn't mean that much to me, frankly.
The evidence tells a different story, Doctor.
Brass has the best lines. How does it look now, huh?
What? Are you saying... Was Sophia's body in my truck? That's not possible. What kind of a frame-up is this anyway? It's outrageous.
Well, he's certainly acting the part. Let's go to the morgue, see if we get anything for victim analysis from Robbins. No. Alright, it's time for going back to the lab. We do have more DNA samples we want to check out.
Yes?
Oh, that yes annoys me. Like, just say yes, don't say it like that. Right, let's go for the Mrs. Wilkinson's DNA. Send that to the computer. Dr. Wilkinson's DNA, send that to the computer. And that is pretty much all we've got, isn't it? Right, let's do this. We get a couple of new DNAs. So, strand of hair. This strand of hair is what is going to be the... We're going to find out. That is a match. It's not a match for Dr. But it's a match to Mrs. Wilkinson.
Not a match.
Oh, we've got it again. It's happened again. That is a match. Oh no, actually it's not. Never mind. Never mind. Right, let's search it then. No match. No match. No match. New match. And new match. Right, okay, hang on. We've still got to do something with the phone prints. I mean, Lita Callisto is right here, so it's got to be her, but no results found, eh? Right, okay. What have we got? Right, the tread. Oh no, wait, we've got the tread cast, don't we? Oh, we've already compared the two, didn't we? Yeah, we already did that. You've got Dr. Wilkinson's DNA. I was sure that would be a match to the sticky, the hair.
The doc.
Well, the doctor is out. It wasn't him. Can we get Lita's DNA?
Yeah?
You want to know if I'm surprised Edward was shacking up with some poor little rich girl young enough to be his daughter? Yeah, I'm just blown away. Stunned.
Did he break it off with you, Lita? To take up with Sophia?
That's one of those rhetorical questions, right? You're not really looking for an answer. Sure. Knock yourself out.
And we've got her. This DNA sample is all we needed to crack this case.
What's up?
Well, we have new DNA for you, Greg. Give me that. That's going to be a match. It's going to be a match if I ever saw one. Yeah, that is definitely a match.
And we have a winner! Lita's DNA matches the hair found in the tissue.
Well, that's pretty damning. I don't think there's anything really to do, is there? Let's go.
Needs... I think
Which you seem to find meaningful. I don't.
it's meaningful, all right. Meaning you had access to the truck and to the tissue that killed Sophia Benedetti, and you even had a motive.
If I had a grudge, and I don't, it wouldn't be with that little slut.
That's right. Your grudge was with the doctor, not his rich girl patient.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but it went something like this. Wilkinson wasn't just running around on his wife. He was running around on you too, and you didn't like it. So you decided to get back at him in a big, nasty way. Starting with snatching his spare truck key off his keychain.
The doc's new squeeze, Sophia, you already knew. She frequented the pharmacy, bought over-the-counter hay fever remedies. Regular customer like that, it was easy to chat her up. Pick up on her going somewhere where her allergies might flare up, like the desert gardens.
Oh, Warwick, you're not actually speaking, by the way. You're still not speaking, Warwick. This is kind of awkward. But it looks like we have nailed her to the wall. Doesn't explain the phone call though. Does not explain the phone call.
The truck was back in the garage before the Wilkinsons could even know it was missing.
You're a smug pair, aren't you?
You killed a young woman just to get back at your ex-lover. What's more smug than that?
Stop. I'll bust out crying.
Can I get you a tissue?
Good job. Another sicko off the streets. Strange, though. I don't get why she tipped us about that body to begin with. It almost feels like she was playing with us somehow. Anyway. Well, Rookie, Grissom's still out in the field, so I'll do your review on this case.
Did I do fantastic or did I? 97%! Whoa ho ho! Hitting the 90s on everyone. We've only got one case left by the looks of things, actually. Well, might as well do it. Lita's swan song. Wait, we just jailed Lita, didn't we? We just jailed her. What? I'm confused.